out his feet.
You are the best.
And we have another reminder. Why is
Crucifixion is over.
هاي بعدك عنه.
to show us this
هاي التريك.
another hint.
هاي التريك.
Why do we want to link Jesus with Adam? Because of the original sin in the Garden of Eden. Take the blood of Jesus for all humanity for the original sin. Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
How did it start with Adam and Eve? Who seduced Adam?
كسر الدنيا.
Snake.
The serpent?
Yeah.
So another reminder to close the circle of crucifixion. Now, Jesus comes together. Remember, we're on the holiday, Passover. We're on Friday. 2-3 hours, Shabbat will start and you cannot do anything.
Of course. رومان هذول يسموا رومان.
Each person have a tomb ready for him.
Yes.
So now his disciples have, first of all, to take his body from the Romans. Okay, and this means you identify yourself with the rebel who was just executed and find a burial place. We are told that one of his secret disciples, a rich man known as Joseph of Arimathea,
يوسف
who
الأرامي.
is probably Aram of today, north of Jerusalem, had a tomb ready that was never used before, a family tomb, and this is where Jesus was put. So in a couple of minutes, when we go and see the tomb, or literally, historically, this is supposed to be the tomb that was supposed to serve Joseph of Arimathea, but it was never used. Now, another thing you have what is here. And again,
عشان نكمل. أنا بحكي.
dressed in linen, in shrouds, and it says, as was the custom of the Jews. By the way, up until today, religious Jews don't like to be buried in a coffin. Only in the shroud, so nothing comes in between you and the soil. Let the body decay the fastest you can. Okay, so it's still this same thing that happened with Jesus is still kept today with religious Jews. And this is why there was a stone that is known as the unction stone or stone of anointment. Anointment of what? Of oil.
Друзья, посмотрите на греческую мозаику. Сняли с Седовластный стали сверху Иосифа Златейского. Никодима, брат,
Christian in English or French or any of the Latin languages, it is not a root that comes from the Western languages. Christian and Christianized comes from Christos.
Christos. Yes.
Christos means anointed. Anointed with what?
Mira.
With myrrh and with olive oil. In the Bible, who is anointed with olive oil? The next king. Okay, in Judaism, the Messiah is Mashiach ben David, son of David. He comes from his family. Okay, now where was Jesus born? Bethlehem. Where was David born? This is where he starts.
So it's prefiguration of Jesus.
Exactly, we have circles closing. So here you see the stone, here you see the nails and the oil, and many people come here, pour holy oil over the stone behind us, okay, and sew rosaries, crosses. Sometimes you even see people hanging the shrouds and take it with them. When their day would come, they would be buried in a shroud that touched the unclean stone. And another interesting thing, look at the eggshells where the oil lamps are hung on. They have different colors. They represent different denominations. And some are Greek Orthodox, one is Armenian, one is Armenian oil. Right is Armenian. You have the third, which is Greek Orthodox, and you have Catholic. The golden ones are Catholic. Everybody is represented here not the entrance door. Belong to the second floor. And reconstruction, especially cleaning of the place.
They also found some new things underneath, right? Recently. The last few months.
The work is done under joint permission, which is rather rare to get, of Armenians and Greeks and Franciscans, Catholics. Okay, there's a professor from the University of Athens and the Franciscan University as well. We are in the rotunda. Rotunda, literally the
Rotunda.
round hole.
Rotunda. We are in Rotunda, round hole.
The round hole. Ever since the 4th century, we have a round hole around the tomb. But this was only built 200 years ago. In 1808, 1808, there was a great fire in the church, and then the Greeks were in charge of most of the reconstruction with backup from the Russians. This is why you see the Greek inscription. And then this was built, it's called the edicule. And the edicule over the tomb. If you want to go in, there is usually a line. You have a small front room. Traditionally, the chapel of the Archangel. In a moment, I'll explain the name. Then you go inside to the room where the tomb is. But today, the tomb is covered already with marble, with slabs of marble, and you can pray inside and then go back out the same way. Now, Jesus was buried on a Friday. Saturday, no one can come. On Sunday, the two Marys come. We have two different versions, which Marys. But one of them is the Virgin. And to their surprise, the tomb that was sealed with a huge rolling stone to prevent grave diggers and robbers to come in. The stone is moved and open. And all they find inside is
Nothing.
the shroud. Jesus is gone. On the stone sits an angel, the Archangel, and tells them, do not worry, he has resurrected as he promised he would. And this is why the entrance room, the front room, is known as the Chapel of the Archangel. And in the center of it, there is a small stone on a pillar. It's covered with glass. It's about this size. And it is said that this stone came from the rolling stone that sealed the grave. Only one small piece. Now, ever since the 4th century, there was always an opening in the ceiling above the tomb. So you have a direct link between heaven and earth at all times. Now, the day to be here, of course, is Saturday of the Holy Fire, of the Holy Light, at the end of Easter week, where every denomination have their own place. And you all come and pray. At 2 o'clock, this is why I wanted to come in now. Look at the sun rays coming down.
Yeah.
At 2 o'clock, the Greek Orthodox Patriarch comes in. The night before, the door was sealed with wax from holy candles. He breaks the wax and goes in, followed by an Armenian archbishop. The Greek Orthodox Patriarch, now His Holiness Theophilos III, goes in and prays until the holy fire breaks out of the grave and lights the torch. Now this is covered, but in the front room you have round holes about this size, round oblong holes through which you can reach out his torch and light the candles of the people in the church. The only congregation that has access to this room, the Greek Orthodox have access to the top, to the 3rd floor. Armenians on the 2nd floor, Greek Orthodox on the 3rd, and they can go out on the roof to the Greek Orthodox Patriarchate. It's further out. Okay? But this is only, of course, for the senior priests, not for everyone. So, Rotunda. Now we will see the chapel of Joseph and Arimathea and Nicodemus. Joseph and Nicodemus, took the body of Jesus from the Romans. This way. We are at the western edge of the church. What's interesting here, we have a cave, a burial cave from the 1st century, a real cave from the time of Jesus. We now know almost 1,000 such caves just in the area of Jerusalem. They all look the same. You have a square room with open space where you can come, people can come with the body and hold a ceremony. Then on 3 sides, usually, you have niches breaking off. Usually the niches are 2 meters long, half a meter tall, and 40, 50 centimeters wide. So you can, traditionally, this is the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea. There was no inscription found. So this is the Asian tradition. Now, as you come in, you lay the body. This is why it's 2 meters long. You leave it for a whole year. The Jewish sources, the Talmud, tells us you leave the body for a full year, and exactly after 1 year you come back and collect the bones. That's the only thing left. Where do you put the bones? Ossuary, a bone box. Okay, and for us as archaeologists, some of these bone boxes, we have a couple of hundred, bear names. And if you analyze the bones, you can also learn about the people. How tall were they? What diseases they had?
Carbon 14.
And also what they have to eat. Okay, so that's quite interesting. This is a typical burial cave of the 1st century. Now, as an archaeologist or a historian, I cannot scientifically prove that this, where we passed, was the tomb of Jesus. What I can prove, that this is a burial area. So we must be outside the walls of the city of the time of Jesus.
So that's evidence that
Exactly. So we know this indeed was a burial area, but when the church was first built in the 4th century, Saint Helena and her people just erased everything to make only the church stand out. Maybe there were more caves and they were just taken out. Okay, just one more thing. I don't know how many billions of depictions of crucifixion we have all around the world. Archaeological evidence, there's only a single one. It was found here in Jerusalem in 1969 by a Greek monk who studied archaeology at the Hebrew University, Dr. Tsafiris, who's now passed away as well. And he found an ossuary in the north of Jerusalem with a name. His name was Yohanan, John, son of Chadakun. We don't know who he was. But what they found in the heel bone was a 10-centimeter metal nail right through the heel bone. Okay, and then they tried to analyze the angle, and it doesn't matter.
In the area of the French Hill, right?
Exactly, right next to the French Hill. What's interesting, the single evidence in the whole world for crucifixion, for Roman crucifixion, was found here in Jerusalem by 1969 and by a monk. And later on, he worked for the Israeli Antiquities Authority. Right.
So this
he
is
used to be serving in the monastery of the Holy Cross. Joseph of Arimathea.
so this is believed to be the tomb of Joseph that was used. That was
Joseph
not
of Arimathea.
instead of the
Tradition, exactly. Tradition says Joseph donated his family grave that was not used yet to put Jesus in. Now he has to carve a new one, and this is the new one. Again, there were no inscriptions found. This chapel, the chapel of Joseph of Nicodemus, belongs to the Syrian Orthodox. They only have one Syrian. Okay? The Syrian, that's their only chapel in the church.
Just let me add for you something, guys. What he said, it's right. That's what we know. This is belongs to the Syrian, but the book says that this is for the Armenians, and it's only given for the Syrians one day. We sold it to them. One day, it takes one day only, Sunday to pray in, and also 2 days during the Holy Sepulcher or the Holy Fire ceremony, and also they give an upper room. They can stay overnight. We sold it statistical. It's very different from what we sold it to.
You can see some traces of color. This is Crusader, 12th century. If you see red or black, okay, you see like orange red. This is Crusader. Okay, fully. The olive branches. This is a crusader. I'm not sure. We don't know what it Look at the capitals on the pillars. You see that some are very thick and some pillars are thin and small. The thinner ones are Byzantine, 4th century. It is called a basket capital, like a woven basket. And this is typical of the 4th, 5th centuries. Where again we have a marker.
Is that Corinthian?
Now, it is, no, it has nothing to do with the Greek style. Okay, now,
But this is an original
You know-
Byzantine one, right?
we know that in the 4th century, they were called the arches of the Virgin Mary. Why, we don't know. It's a story that was not passed on, rarely. But you see that in between the pillars, we have thicker columns. These were built by the Crusaders because in the Byzantine times, it was just a narrow corridor. It was maybe covered with wood. And the center was open to the sky, so you don't need any massive support. When the Crusaders put a stone ceiling over the central court, now you need more massive support.
That's why there's another pillar.
Exactly, and this is why we have different pillars. What we don't know is why these, we're now in the northern part of the church, why these were kept, and the other sides, nobody kept the Byzantine pillars and they're vanished. Only here, they're kept. So wherever you see this capital, you know it's a Byzantine capital.
How is it supported on the other side?
The same thing.
You said they disappeared.
You have these massive, the built pillars, not a single stone. We'll continue to the cave.
Nir,
I'm not going to enter, sorry. There were centuries in the Middle Ages. In the Middle Ages, there were times where Christians could not safely go outside on the Via Dolorosa. So there are times where the whole of the Via Dolorosa is reenacted under the church ceiling. And when this happened, this was identified as the jail. Okay? The jail
Pretorio.
of Jesus. And this is why you see the stones. If you look on the left, it is said there is a stone with two holes in it
oh,
that the feet of Jesus were put in the stone. They like cufflinks made of stone. As you can see, you see the signs. This was renovated by the Russians in the 19th century. So you have the Russian double-headed eagle. Again, traditionally the jail where Jesus was incarcerated. We have the jail of Jesus where the Greeks, you'll see it on the Via Dolorosa. We have the Armenian identification on Mount Zion. Different denominations see it in different places.
Where is the stone? According to the Orthodox Church, this is the house of Caiapha.
That's exactly the problem. This is why, because we know it from Mount Zion and we know it from the Syriac church.
House of Caiaphas.
Right, this was what he was asking.
I'm just trying to explain about
هلا ما هو حكى انه في جزئين where they put the feet. طب احنا بنعرف انه الكروسيفكشن مش
It's not a crucifixion. هنا حبسوه.
طلع هنا
Jail. حبس المسيح.
شفت الحديد ده؟
حبس المسيح.
وهي الصورة
it's a miracle one.
So this is the jail of Christ. Observation.